Good day, everybody. This is Yin Yang in California with Morsels of a Thought number 1596. I have been doing this for this many days consecutively, no holidays. Started out with Dr. Duck Vuong. He started with us out with a challenge to do it 30 days in a row. I did, and then he said you could keep going, and I kept going. So every day since January 2nd, 2021. All right, now, today is Friday, and on Friday we read from Dr. Brody Miller, PhD, a 90-day blueprint to reclaim your memory after a brain injury or concussion. The book is titled Brain Rescue. Brain Rescue is a life-changing guide packed with cutting-edge neuroscience. It's a beacon of hope. Need these. John Assaraf, two-time New York Times best-selling author. Okay, I look like I'm in the shade, don't I? Ay, ay, ay. Okay, let me see if that angle works better. Thank you. I think it does. All right, we are on page 45. So we're in the section titled, we're in chapter 4, the first pillar. R is for refocus, REFOCUS. The first stage, refocus, is all about setting a solid foundation for an empowered recovery. The first step is R for rest. Sleep is the most effective thing we can do to reset our brain health each day. Quote by Dr. Matthew Walker. So, then we go to sleep hygiene, the foundation of recovery. And last time we read about establish a consistent sleep routine and then optimize sleep hygiene. Now, 7 tips for sleeping like a baby again, even after a head injury. Create your sacred cave. Make the room chilly, dark, and soundproof as possible, 64 to 68 degrees. Wear an eye mask and earplugs if necessary. Make your bedroom sacred for sex and sleeping only. 2. Get morning and evening sunlight. Get some sunlight early in the morning and in the evening. Natural light helps reset your internal clock, circadian rhythm, making it easier to fall asleep and wake up at the right time. Number 3, be consistent. Make sure to go to bed and wake up around the same time every day. Be strict at first to establish the pattern, but afterwards it will get easier. Cut the CRAP, carbonated drinks, refined sugars, added colors, and processed sugars. C, carbonated drinks. R, refined sugars. A, added colors. P, and processed sugars. CRAP. Cut the CRAP. All right. Sorry, I keep hitting the camera. Sorry about that. Okay. 5. Add background sounds. Adding background noises like white noise, nature sounds, hypnosis tapes, or calming instrumentals can really help you sleep better. Number 6, try meditation or prayer. Meditating before bed can seriously improve your sleep quality and reduce anxiety. I meditated for an hour last night, more than an hour. And I can't say why, but it felt so good afterward. I felt like I was totally grounded. Even just 5 minutes of meditation, visualization, or mindful prayer can help calm your brain, ease your mind, switch on your parasympathetic nervous system, rest and digest, and get you ready for a deep sleep. Take GABA, theanine, and ashwagandha for extra support. GABA, theanine is spelled Theanine, and ashwagandha is spelled Ashwagandha for extra support. These natural supplements can really help calm your nervous system. The best part is they are all non addictive. If you need a little help, they can help you relax, reduce anxiety, and make it easier to fall into a restful sleep. Okay, now the second step is E for exercise. Norman Deutsch. Let me see. The first letter was R for rest. Norman Deutsch, Doidge, says, nothing speeds brain atrophy more than being immobilized in the same environment. That's key. Don't stay inside in one place all the time. Mr. Deutsch, Doidge, one of the grandfathers of modern day neuroplasticity, is trying to tell you something. He is saying nothing speeds brain atrophy more than being immobilized in the same environment. He is saying that there is nothing more destructive to brain health than the lack of movement and staying in the same environment. These are all capitalized and bold faced. In other words, nothing is more toxic to brain health than stagnation. Damn, I wish someone had told me that. Because after my brain injury, I did the opposite. I sat in darkness, isolated, while my brain practically cried out for stimulation, for oxygen, and for life. Yes, rest has its place, but if you're not willing to move, you're really holding yourself back. We need to get you moving. Movement is medicine. Movement is life. If you desire an empowered recovery, but you're not willing to move your body, you are really screwing up. Your brain needs oxygen, it needs blood flow, and that's only going to happen if you consistently move. There are many myths about how to care for your brain after you experience a brain injury. I will address three common ones now. Uh, in Morsels of a Thought, we try to give you morsels of a thought of wisdom from other people. I'm not that wise, so I always borrow wisdom. And I look at people who have lived their lives and I look for quotes because other people have lived an entire life to be able to quote something like that. And Morsels of a Thought of Wisdom is meant to give you something, wisdom of the right things to do. And then when you actually do them, doing them is called virtue. So we bring more virtue into the world with morsels of a thought. Number three, harmful myths about exercise and head injuries. Myth number one, just rest it off. The common recommendation after a concussion is to just wait it off and rest. It is important to rest. I'm not denying that. But I would say that it is equally important to get moving in your recovery. We want you to get moving in a way that is truly empowering and fun. The more rest is necessary in the early stages, but too much rest without any movement can actually slow your recovery. Movement stimulates the brain and accelerates the healing process. Movement is medicine, and without it, we're allowing stagnation to take over, robbing our brains of the life, oxygen, and stimulation they need to rebuild and thrive. Let me give you an example of stimulation of the brain. Now, stimulation of the brain, of course, means you can be awake. Yes, I hope Dr. Brody agrees with me on this. So, when you're awake, you can get your brain stimulated. Your stimulation will keep you awake. Well, I have driven on a path that is so familiar to me that I am sleepy. But if I take a separate route that is a different route than I usually take, then I can stay awake. And it is extremely dangerous to be sleepy when you're driving. So I will say take a different route to work or Well, if you're not at work, take a different route to wherever you go. Please don't go to McDonald's. So that is my example. Okay, now back to Dr. Brody's book, BDNF and GDNF. Exercise is like magic for your brain. The science is extremely compelling. It helps your body make a special protein called BDNF, brain derived neurotrophic factor. Think of BDNF as brain fertilizer that helps your brain stay healthy and grow stronger by building better connections between brain cells. But that's not all. Exercise also boosts something called GDNF, glial cell derived neurotrophic factor. GDNF comes from glial cells, which are like your brain's support team. While brain cells are the messengers that send signals in your brain, glial cells make sure these messengers have everything they need to do their job, like keeping them protected and energized. GDNF helps these neurons heal and stay strong, which is super important for mood and memory. Did you know there are twice as many glial cells as there are brain cells? However, both cell forms are important for boosting neuroplasticity. Exercise boosts BDNF levels, which is especially helpful for growing the hippocampus, the part of your brain that turns short term memories into long term ones. Together, BDNF and GDNF make your brain more flexible and balanced, which is a big deal when you're recovering from a brain injury or struggling with memory and focus challenges. Let me give you yet another example of my own focus challenges. Um, I don't exercise enough, and the hippocampus must be suffering and needing to change short term memories into long term ones. I'm having trouble with short term memory myself. I've had many brain injuries, so we'll talk about that later. But back to the book. To reinforce Together, BDNF and GDNF make your brain stay more flexible and balanced, which is a big deal when you're recovering from a brain injury or struggling with memory and focus challenges. To reinforce this, a brand new study published in the International Journal of Behavioral Nutrition and Physical Activity found that those who did more moderate to vigorous physical activity than usual on a given day did much better in short-term memory tests the day after. I'm going to start using my jump rope, which is a good idea. Myth number 2. You need to wait a long time to safely exercise again. I had that given to me when I was 9 years old and had my first brain injury. Research, in fact, my second and third brain injuries, they excused me from physical exercise, so I was able to take another solid in high school. May or may not have burned me out. But anyway, myth number 2 is you need to wait a long time to safely exercise again. Research shows that starting aerobic exercise as early as 1 week after a mild or severe traumatic brain injury is safe and beneficial. It can reduce it can reduce symptoms, improve thinking skills, and speeding up recovery. If you're feeling down, unmotivated, or weighed down, remember that exercise's benefits go beyond weight loss. It's about shedding physical, mental, emotional, and even spiritual baggage. In just one workout, you can release neurochemicals like dopamine for pleasure, endorphins for pain relief, adrenaline for energy, serotonin for mood elevation, as well as GDNF and BDNF for more mental clarity and resilience. Boosting BDNF levels has been proven to strengthen neural connections in the hippocampus, a brain region very important for memory consolidation. Together, BDNF and GDNF support cognitive flexibility and emotional regulation, which are especially vital in recovery from brain injuries. Morsels of a thought of wisdom from other people, like Dr. Brody Miller, is given to us for wisdom. Knowing the right thing to do is wisdom, and actually doing it is called virtue. And my goal is to bring more wisdom and virtue into the world. Here we are, back to the book. We all have brain brain rescue. We all have unlimited potential. Our past doesn't define our future unless we allow it to. By giving our body and mind the right stimulation through consistent exercise and mindful self care, we allow our 37 trillion cells to thrive with renewed purpose and strength. No matter where you are in your recovery journey, you still need to get moving. Movement doesn't mean extreme workouts, it's about gentle, purposeful actions that get your blood flowing and your brain stimulated. Go to a garden like I do. Myth number 3: exercise will worsen your symptoms. See the myth number 3. It is a common worry that moving your body after a brain injury will make things worse. Rightfully so. You might fear that exercise could exacerbate your headaches, dizziness, or fatigue. But the truth is, while overdoing it can be harmful, the right type and dosage of movement actually speeds up your brain's healing process. Studies show that gentle, controlled exercise improves blood flow and oxygen levels in the brain, which helps repair cells and boost mental clarity. When you're careful to respect your limits and choose exercises suited to where you are at in recovery, movement can reduce symptoms rather than make them worse. Take action today. Don't let injuries or outside circumstances prevent you from exercising. Don't let another day slip by while your brain and body remain stagnant. The author says, I want you to imagine a recovery where you're not just healing, but thriving. Thriving. You've read the science. You felt the urgency and heard my story. Now it's time to create your own narrative. Commit to moving every day for the next 30 days. Just 10 to 20 minutes a day is all it takes to start creating a profound shift. After every live show, I'm going to start moving, giving this advice for 30 days and see if I keep on going, right? See if I keep on going. Maybe I ought to keep, yeah, okay. This isn't about becoming an athlete overnight. It's about choosing every day to push a little closer towards the freedom that you deserve. Give your brain the oxygen, blood flow, and stimulation it craves. Break through the BS, toss out the excuses, and show yourself what's possible. Stand up and move for the next month. Check off a mark every day on a calendar. Good idea. Be accountable. Yes. Your brain, your future, and your life will thank you. Start today with day 1. When your body moves, your brain grooves. The third step is F for fuel. REF. Let thy medicine be thy food, and let thy food be thy medicine. That's by Hippocrates. Hippocrates lived thousands of years ago. You have a Ferrari sitting in between your ears. It has over 86 billion cells that are processing 11 million bits of information every second. Why fuel it with anything less than the best? Would you fuel a Ferrari with cheap gas? Of course not. So why would you fuel the most important organ in your body with Starbucks, McDonald's, and Jack Daniels? Think about the coffee. Processed or alcoholic drinks you constantly reach for without thought. Those are like pouring low grade fuel into a high performance car. Instead, imagine filling up with premium fuel, fresh veggies, healthy fats, clean proteins. I need to buy some avocados. Take it from my friend, TBI survivor and thriver, Calvin Ballister, Cavin Ballister, Balaster, who learned this lesson the hard way. After he woke up from a coma, he ultimately realized the nutrition they were giving him was packed with high fructose corn syrup. Yes, seriously, corn syrup, the cheap filler with zero nutritional value. And what's worse is it's sprayed with glyphosate, a toxic herbicide. Imagine that. Being fed pure sugar and chemicals while trying to overcome a horrific brain injury. Sadly, this isn't rare, and it is still standard protocol in hospitals around the world to this day. A word of caution: more than 80% of US children and adults have traces of the herbicide glyphosate in their urine, according to data from the US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Goodness gracious, that's it. Then there's 10 footnotes. I'm going to read some of the footnotes out loud. I keep saying that. Number 3, but Burler T. Joe L. Okay, these are authors' names of books from which this author got his material and certain points. So we have up to 10 footnotes here. The entire book has a total number of footnotes summing up to 48. So we've got a lot of the content so far. You are what you eat. You are what you eat. We'll go into that section next week. Um, Let me see. Let's do this. We'll read the first paragraph. Every single thing you decide to put in your mouth either helps or hinders your brain recovery. Let that sink in for a minute. By choosing the right fuel, you're taking control of your healing process. Look, I know it's tempting to reach for what's convenient and tastes good in the moment, but imagine how much different you are going to feel if you simply add the right fuel. Your brain cells need top quality fuel to rebuild, repair, and get back to sharp, high performance levels. Okay, we'll read from here next week in Brain Rescue, a 90-day blueprint to reclaim your memory after a brain injury or concussion by Dr. Brody Miller. Brain rescue is I've said that before. You are not defined by what happens to you, but by how you respond to life's inevitable challenges. That's a quote on the back cover of the book. Okay, so we will see you tomorrow, Saturday. I will talk to you then, and I hope you have a great, great day. Bye bye. Okay, old Kinderhook.